here is our player who is 6-pooling.
Yeah, we're not going to have any intros because Czech is going for a 6-pool. Of course, well, normally we don't have intros when this happens, but of course this time we just are. So Czech, of course, our Zerg player, and over here our Protoss player, he is
Sage.
And very luckily for Czech, his Overlord is actually going straight towards Sage's base. That is, oh, but the probe is actually going out after the Pylon Scout, and he's going to go straight to Czech's base.
Czech actually did not see the probe with his Overlord.
I was going to say that Czech's going to find out. That's one of the problems with 6-pooling on a 4-player map is you never know where to send your lings. But if he scouts them immediately, he'll know where to send them.
But at the same token, Sage will also be able to make his forge immediately. It's actually going to be really awkward for Sage because he's going to have to make his forge on the low ground, but he's still going to have to make a pylon in his main and then defend that way. So he sees the 6-pool now and actually makes his forge immediately. He may try to wall up on the low ground, but I don't think it's going to work. Obviously, the neutral depot is going to make that very difficult.
Neutral depot stops that from being possible.
So he's going to have to make a pylon in his main and then make a cannon there.
Probe doing some harassment. He knows the Zerglings really want to attack his main base, so he's going to try and distract them, and he actually draws one ling back.
Yeah, always do that with your probe if you're being 6-pool because there's no reason not to. What are you doing back at your base? You're actually just going, but you actually don't have anything else to do at your base, so you might as well micro your probe.
Exactly. Well, what you do have to do at your base is what Sage did, is build a pylon next to your main nexus so that when your forge finishes, you can actually build a cannon in your main instead of at your front door.
And the cannon is about a third of the way done. The Zerglings have arrived. They're going to ignore this forge, and Sage is actually going to have to micro his probes. Nice! Puts a gateway down to minimize the amount of area. Oh no, he's pulling his probes in the wrong direction though. He wants to perhaps try to save this gateway. And the cannon finishes. It should have enough DPS to now keep the gateway alive. But he is going to lose his pylon. This is always what happens when you try to forge size expand. If you get 6-pooled, you just lose your forge and your pylon. It's part of the deal.
Yep. Relatively defensible though, as we can see, and then it just comes down to how clever you are in your building placement. You've got that one cannon. You might even want to build a second one in a
he probably will make a second one
dies.
At that gap. See that gap in between the middles? He'll probably make a second one there, so he's made his pylon there. It's very difficult to deal with, but
yeah,
Czech is being really smart. I mean, when your 6-pool fails, you just keep your Zerglings alive, and I mean this hasn't failed per se, but if you don't win the game, you just continue to use those Zerglings.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why you have to be very careful as the Protoss player. You need to build your buildings in a place where the edges of them are always within range of the cannon. Otherwise,
yeah, see this pylon, for example, actually, if Czech had decided to go for it, it would have been toast.
Yeah.
But Czech actually didn't realize it, so it's okay.
And the forge goes down.
This Zealot is getting way overeager.
And he didn't make a second cannon, so he's going to have to depend on this Zealot to defend.
Yeah, he's going to always try to bait the Zerglings back towards the cannon. This is actually a very awkward and difficult position for Sage to be in right now. Czech can be the boss here. And Czech actually takes the gold base.
Whoa.
As a follow-up to this. I really like it because Sage can't get out of his base very soon. I like that Sage is chrono boosting out Zealots though.
Yeah, he's able to actually force those Zerglings back a little bit.
He actually hasn't even started a core. I think he's going to make a Nexus before a core here. It's entirely possible. He is putting probes in the gas though, so I actually changed my mind on that.
Yeah. And
it's possible though. It looks like he is just going to do it.
Oh, well, he's saving up the money actually. You're right. He's saving up money for it.
I like that because if you make just Zealots, you can hold off slow Zerglings forever.
Well, we might see him follow up with a Stargate after that core as well, because he's going to have a lot of gas in the bank at that point.
Yeah. And the core, he wants to make the core part of his wall if you're making a forge as well, just in case some sort of hyper-baneling aggression is coming in. The probe actually sneaks by. Unfortunately for him, though, he won't be able to take the watchtower. There's a Zergling there. Drones are being transferred, though. He might see those.
Oh, that has undone a few secret gold expansions in recent days.
But no, he will not see it.
Not going to see it.
And actually, what Sage is going to see is no hatchery at his natural, and that's actually going to make him think that he's going to be following this up with some sort of baneling aggression. And actually...
Yeah, because the Queen is going to kill the probe before it gets all the way in the base, so he's like, oh no, there's a baneling nest or a roach warren in the back there somewhere.
This is actually really win-win for Czech right now. See a cannon going up here because he's very nervous. There is a baneling nest going up. He can use that gold base to get extra production. He's got a lot of just quick mining there that he's going to be able to use to make a ton of Zerglings. If He wants to be aggressive with Banelings. Stargate going up. I'd like to see Czech actually just take a third base though and try to get ahead.
Yeah, I think that would.
I think it would behoove him.
Behoove him. I think that'd be the wiser move. I don't know if it's the move Czech is gonna make though.
Well, Zerglings
because he's making a ton of Zerglings.
16 Zerglings are on the way. It looks like he wants to try to bust this. Now there is only one cannon and there's only Zealots out right now. In fact, the first Stalker is on the way. And now the Zerglings have been spotted. Now
the probe knows something's going on because he saw there's still no hatchery.
Oh,
the
here they come.
Yet, though.
7 Banelings being morphed. He actually needs to make cannons now, but he's not doing it. He's actually just not doing it. He's got his Zealots positioned in such a way that Zerglings can't run by. But guess what's pretty good against Zealots? That's Banelings, man.
Yeah, and here come the Banelings going in there. And a couple of them are going to get taken out by the cannon as he runs away. Is he going to take out the cannon with them?
Going for the pylon, which will actually unpower the cannon.
Wow.
The Cyberknights for the Forge and the Stargate. But even so, he lost all of his units here.
That was actually huge because that means no Void Rays are going to be able to come out.
But at the same time, there's so many Zealots here, you can't really afford that many Banelings. So it's actually a huge mistake by Czech because now his Banelings have basically just unpowered a few structures that don't really matter really at that point. He should have used them on the Zealots or tried to go for probes in the main, I think. He sees more Banelings are morphing here, but there's another cannon finishing. The pylon refinishes.
Lots of Zerglings coming in there. There's no sentries to block this time. Banelings going after those units. One hit on those, or maybe 2 on those Zealots to kill them all. He actually goes for the pylon again.
Yeah, but I don't think this is the right choice. Sage actually can just remake pylons repeatedly, and Czech can't do this forever. He does have a gold base, which gives him a lot of extra economy, but he doesn't have the extra gas to keep throwing away Banelings like this. Yeah, the Zergling's going to try to do a run by here, and will he stop them? Oh, sickest stop ever by Sage.
Zealots get in that gap just in time.
He is going to unpower the Stargate yet again temporarily.
And he's going to get out.
But losing a ton of Zerglings in the process. And in fact, Czech actually hasn't made any more Banelings.
And he actually put a pylon on the high ground so the Stargate gets immediately repowered. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. It was the one on the low ground. Never mind. But anyway, it gets immediately repowered, so...
If you made a pylon on the high ground, he wouldn't be able to do that anymore.
That'd be funny. Goes in, spends Banelings to kill the pylon, runs in with his Zerglings, finishes off the pylon, and then still powered. He's like, what?
Well, right now, Sage is moving out with his Void Rays, picking off Overlords. He's actually going to spot these Banelings in the middle of the map, and where are they going to go? They just have to run away, but the Banelings are so slow off creep. He's actually going to be able to take out a lot of these Banelings on their way in, and Czech is in a lot of trouble. He has made a 3rd hatchery at his natural. He's going to pick off a Zealot here, but these are all small victories in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, he's actually going to lose all but... Nope, he's going to lose all of his Banelings before they can land.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Czech at all. Sage starting to pull it way ahead in supply. He's gone up to 4 gates. He's got a Twilight Council, adding 2 more gateways, 3 more gateways. 9 drones are on the way for Czech. He's trying to kind of drone up and be like, all right, I promise I won't do it again. I'm going to play a macro game now. He's got a Spore Crawler prepared to help defend these Void Rays, but he can't spread his creep anymore. And in fact, the Void Rays can actually attack the Spore because the Spore doesn't have vision until they get too close. Well, I meant to say the sentries, but either way, he's going to attack the Spore with the Void Rays. And there's a lot of Zerglings here. He's going to have to use some more Force Fields.
Yeah, that was actually a little bit bad going in there with those sentries.
He is going to take out these queens, though, and the Spore did fall. And yeah, if you can take out these 2 queens, like I said earlier, if you can kill all the queens, it's worth it.
And I didn't actually realize there was so many Zealots squished in between those sentries. Oh, he's going to get 1 queen, but he loses a Void Ray for it. Not a good trade. He's actually going to lose a 2nd Void Ray as well.
But he will kill all of the queens. And now the Void Ray can do a ton of damage to this hatch. Completely uncontested. There's his Void Ray buddy coming to help.
Yeah, once he charges up, he's just going to kill that high yield base so quickly.
But Hydro Ascent is on the way. Lair finished. He has +1 melee attacks for his Zerglings, but
Czech has 2 bases, and Sage has 3.
Yeah, Sage has a 3rd base coming up here. Huge Speedling counterattack, but again, there's just too much defense here. You can't make this work. A bunch of Banelings sneaked in, and they're going to try to come over here and do some damage, but...
Oh, wow, that's kind of funny.
That's really desperate.
A couple of them were actually going to finish, I think. But
yeah, they're going to finish, but they're just going to die. Does damage to the sentry, but that was it.
That was kind of funny.
Cute by Czech, but it's like, did you guys ever watch the cartoon Two Stupid Dogs, where the guy's always like, "That's real nice, but it's wrong." Two Stupid Dogs, man. Somebody knows what I'm talking about.
That was so funny though. He's like, "All right, if he doesn't see this, even though it's right in front of his nose, this will be great." Oh, he saw it.
Yeah, Sage actually warped in Stalkers on top of those Banelings. Well, the Templar Archives is up, Storm is on the way, and things are looking more and more grim for Czech by the minute.
Yeah, Czech is just falling so far behind.
There's a bunch of probes for Sage that he wants to transfer to his third base.
Oh, he might lose the Void Rays. Oh, one more shot. Oh, the Hydra's going to get on creep and catch up.
Yeah, he's going to catch that one.
There we go. Nice.
That was actually so suspenseful.
Yeah.
You actually make it a second one. Nope. Hydra have to go home.
Yep.
Well, right now it's 116 supply to 96. But the problem is, as this third base finally gets saturated, Sage actually misclicked his probe transfer, so he actually had a ton of probes not mining for a while. But now that he's finally got it up and saturated, he's got Storm. What's he fighting against? Hydras, Banelings, and Zerglings. When he has Storm out, I think he'll be okay.
I think it's going to be just fine.
Czech needs to make something happen here. He might get lucky with this attack, but that's...
No, that was the last match. Sorry.
If he gets lucky with his attack, it's going to be pretty much the only way he can come out on top here. He hasn't taken the third base. He's basically going all in at this point with his Hydra bust. But look at this. Storm hits Hydra's off creep. What are you going to do?
They cannot dodge. They're just so slow. Some Zerglings coming from the side. Storm on the Banelings. All of them die.
Nice. Pulls one Zealot away to hit the Banelings.
Exactly.
And
just a handful of Hydras left.
Can't even retreat with his Hydras. Guardian Shield goes up yet again. And Czech is in so much trouble. He has no upgrades. Sage has +1. Storm hits all the Hydras. And it looks like Sage is going to advance to the up and down matches, man.
It looks that way. Chasing these Hydras back across the map. They've got nowhere to go, though. Baneling's coming in to try and do some damage to the expansion here.
That's actually pretty sneaky, but Sage reacts in time, and even if he hadn't, he's just got that third base up. He's got so much more that Czech can offer. Huge speedling counterattack to the third base, though, and there's only one cannon there. That cannon's not going to buy enough time to kill all these Zerglings with the probes. He's actually going to engage the Zerglings with probes. He has so many probes there. That's how the cookie crumbles. That's how the Czech crumbles.
That's how the Czech crumbles, man, and he is crumbling indeed. Czech's supply has not gone up since the last time we were talking about it, whereas Sage's has gone up by 40, so he now has almost double Czech's supply.
Yeah.
He's got probably about double Czech's income right now.
He's gone up to 10 gates. He's got Blink finishing up. He's got such a large army. And Czech, what has he got? He's got a few Hydras and Banelings at the top of a ramp that he's going to desperately try to hold with. And Sage actually is bringing a Warp Prism to do some harassment here. Is he going to do the elevator? He's doing it. He messed up. You guys know about this elevator trick. If you guys haven't, you should look it up on YouTube. He's actually messed up twice now. He's trying to do something cute here. He's trying to show that you can actually elevator units into the main if you have it positioned properly. You can almost transfer them instantly. Look at how fast he's going to be able to actually transfer everything into Czech's base.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Well, he actually decided to give up because he has
just
Blink
blinks
now.
in.
He's like, forget tricks.
Whatever.
Use my Blink. And Storm's going off over here at the side against Hydras. Not the best place for Sage to engage.
GG! So NS Hosa, one of the star teams of the Team League, now has a player going into the up and down matches in Sage.
He's like the Protoss leader. Of course, there was an all kill by all, but there were 3 members of NS Hosa who were able to get all kills. There were Seal, Sage, and Jakji. Sage, the Protoss representative, making his way through Code A.
I remember that one with Sage more, or with Seal more. I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, man.
Oh, he's actually beating everyone.
Spread.
Oh, yeah. Good creep spread. So, this is a good day for Protoss.
Good day for Protoss.
3 Protoss is playing and 3 advancing. And a Zerg advancing over the Terran Dream.
Yeah, Terran's not being as dominant at the lower levels here in Code A. Obviously still quite dominant in Code S, but these Processes that's where they're headed. That's where they want to be. They want to be in Code S. They've secured their up and down slot. Remember, whoever wins Code A also gets a spot in Code S as well, so these guys are headed towards that. Even so, I'd be surprised if we didn't see at least one of these Processes get a shot at Code S. Get in there, see what they can do.
Remember, what happens is that the 7 players, so the top 8 of Code A at least have a shot. The top 1 goes directly into Code S, and the other 7, along with the lower 8, the last place of each of the 8 Code S groups, you've got 15 players in that pool. And then they're divided into 3 groups of 5, and the top 2 from each of those groups will go to Code S or stay in Code S, as the case may be. So, so these guys are now up in the up and down matches, and that means they're going to have a 2 out of 5 chance, I guess, in a way, of getting into Code S.
If you want to look at it that way, if everyone were at equal skill level. If everyone were at
equal skill level, yeah.
But that's not the case. They're going to be playing against some tough opponents that's fallen out of Code S recently. But it's fallen into the up and downs.
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult to get into Code S than it used to be. Used to be that if you got in the up and down matches, then you just had to win 1 of 2 best of 3s. Anyway, here's the results for today. JYP coming out over Fruit Dealer, and Oz coming out over Superstar. So we're going to have a PvP in that quarterfinal.
Yeah, it's one of JYP's best matchups, if not his best. So that's going to be pretty tough for Oz.
He's going to be really hard to defeat for Oz. And Lucky coming out over Dream. He's going to face Enes Hosa Sage. And of course, yesterday we saw SC and Gumiho triumph. They're going to play each other, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Curious.
ZBZ, that should be a good series, I think. Yu-Gi-Oh! ZBZ is not bad.
That means we're guaranteed 1 TVZ semifinal, and the other semifinal could go a lot of different directions, though, but there's probably going to be a Protoss there, given the way things are lined up.
Yeah, that's how it's looking so far.
Yeah.
So it looks like we just
what it looks like. So that's going to pretty much do it for today. Remember, tonight is the Team League playoffs in about 2.5 hours. We're going to have the second day of the Team League playoffs. Yesterday, the first day of the Team League playoffs was actually really crazy.
Go watch those VODs.
It was really, really good games. I guess I won't spoil it just in case you guys haven't seen that. Usually, if you're watching a live broadcast, you kind of have to expect that we're going to talk about previous live broadcasts. But we also remind you about the AOL this weekend. The last 2 groups are coming up. Those are going to be great. MVP, Dongregu, and Huck. Oh my god. Those games are going to be so awesome to watch. I'm so glad I get to cast those. And then actually July-Zerg, Boxer, and Naniwa, that is going to be a really good group as well.
Yeah,
it's going to be on
July
Sunday.
And Boxer gets a rematch again.
Yeah.
They met each other a while ago, then met each other at the finals for a little show match, and we'll see if July can beat Boxer this time. Actually, Boxer has triumphed over July both times.
They were pretty evenly matched, though. Like it was a really, really solid game. So AOL, the Arena of Legends, only legendary players allowed.
IM versus MVP.
Yeah, that's going to be the playoffs tonight.
We may see IM MVP play.
We might see a lot of really good players.
We might see Nesty step off of his throne and walk down the bench and sit in that booth if things get dire, because these 2 teams are really awesome. You know, MVP had such a good run through the Team League. IM scraped through, but they barely got in. They didn't use their star players. Now that it really matters, I think they will.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks again, by the way, to Sony Ericsson, G-Skill, Intel, Pepsi, Razer. Those cool light-up headsets are Razer headsets.
Yeah.
And they're actually pretty comfortable, by the way. We have some at the GOM house. I've been wearing them lately. They're actually pretty good.
Pretty good. I used one the other night when I was streaming some Diablo 3. Check out Diablo 3 if you guys haven't yet.
If there's anyone that has a spare Diablo 3 beta key, tweet at Moltrap, at FXOWolf, at GOMTV. Let us know what you guys think. And we will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care.